It's a convoluted clusterfuck that on a scale of 1 to 5 is a clusterfuck of the 11th magnitude.
And did you ever have to register as a sex offender?
Yes, I did.
You still do?
Yeah, I still
Me
do.
and Stony Stone in my living room. He drove 1,600 miles from Rockford, Illinois, all the way to New Jersey to spend a couple of days with me. He's the most fantastic guy I ever met. Absolutely awesome.
As Honeybee knew about your conviction for a year, did she ever reach out to you and inquire what the hell is going on? Why are you in the truther community talking about this, that, and the other thing?
No, she never contacted me. She never contacted me.
Okay.
This is the abandoned farmhouse that does not actually exist. I am rolling on the floor, laughing my fucking ass off.
Right, people. When Wake Now was saying about the message that the message Honeybee sent Fkn Freddy on the Jamie Deluxe live stream, mentioning the guy who had been done for she said he was a paedophile basically, and he was making Pizzagate videos. And I even said in some of my videos, why aren't you telling us about these people? Said in the live stream, everything. You know, these people have got, all right, their living is outing these people to the public and getting them off the streets and that, according to them. And she leaves a message saying that she knows of this guy. Well, seeing as none of them will cover it that I've seen, I'll do it myself. Now, this is Dave Todeschini, NET4TRUTH, USA. What he does is he makes YouTube videos exposing satanic cult, UK and US political pedos. All these videos here, Charles' body found in AZ, so... But anyway, it's not the point of it. This fella says here, see, at the top you can see his convictions. Sexual abuse, first degree male, 8 years old. 8 fucking years old. Sodomy, second degree, male, 8 years old. So this sick fucker, this fucking pedo scumbag, is making videos in this community. People know about it. These big network channels know about it. And it's down to us little channels with like 100 or so subs to find out about them and put it up ourselves. What do we get called? Paid trolls, fucking crazy people for you know, getting this information out of people and stuff. And it's unbelievable. These people know about these people and don't tell anyone, but I'm telling you. And this is him, Dave Todeschini. I mean, not being funny, but it looks like a fucking creep. So this is a guy Honeybee was talking about, that she knows about. Yet I haven't told anyone else. They've left this for people to find out for themselves.
All right, we've got NET4TRUTH in here. Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you doing,
Dave.
guys? You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Awesome, please.
Well, thank you for joining, Dave.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I just want to clear a lot of things up.
Dave, let me just ask you one question. Just one question here. Did you rape a child?
No, I did not. No, I did not. What I tried to do, this is a long story, and it has to be told in the chronological order in which it happens. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. First of all, the alleged victim lived 130 miles from me. So I had absolutely no control. I saw him once every 3 months or so because my nephews and my nieces used to hang out with him. And we used to go hiking up in the Catskills. That's the only way I know him. but he was 10 years old, 9 or 10 when I met him. I taught him how to swim. I taught my nieces and my nephews how to swim. And that's the way we got to hang out with me, my nieces, my nephews, and this kid. This kid was exceptionally bright. I mean, this kid had to have an IQ about 120. Do you remember when the GPS receivers, handheld GPS receivers first came out? Am I still on here?
Yeah. We're listening to you, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
At 10 years old, this kid learned how to program and read the coordinates of a Magellan handheld GPS receiver without my help, just by reading the manual. And
all right, I gotta jump in there again, Dave. I asked you a question. You said you're not guilty of this crime that's on your record, and then you start talking about freaking swimming holes and GPS.
Well, what's that got to do with anything?
What you're doing is just going away. I'm going to shut up again, but just kind of, does anyone have a question for Dave? Because I'm starting to hear a story that.
So are you basically trying to tell us, Dave, that the government framed you and the record that you have, the fact that it says you're a level 3 pedophile, dangerous, whatnot, you're saying that you were framed?
Yeah, it was a frame. It absolutely was. And I can tell you exactly how I can prove it. You got $500,000, I could win you back 12. But the legal system in this country, as Jerry the Jew used to say, there is no such thing as truth. There's only what you can manipulate around the law.
Right. I feel like you're kind of talking in circles and just not answering.
I'm not talking in circles. I'm trying to set the scenario.
Were you arrested?
I was arrested under color of law before they even had a statement from anybody.
I just needed that answer. And did you ever have to register as a sex offender?
Yes, I did.
You still do?
Yeah, I still do, but I know the cops. I know everybody here.
Yeah.
How long ago did this happen? When did you start making Pizzagate videos, and why didn't you feel the need to address this issue before it was confronted in front of you? And if you had handled this issue head on and said, this is what happened, this was my side of the story, and gave your viewers and everybody the opportunity to say, oh, that wasn't right or that was okay, at that point, then you wouldn't be in the hot seat right now.
Well, if I was like a lot of people on the internet and go on as a fake name and never show my face, this shit would never happen. But I have never done anything in my life that I'm ashamed of. So I use my real name on over 15 books that I published. I use my real name on all the social media sites that I'm on. I use my real name. And to tell you the truth, I'll tell you straight up, people that know me know better. And people that don't know me, I really could give a shit what they think.
Why would the government want to frame you? I'm not asking you how they framed you. I want to know why would they want to frame you? What did you do that they wanted?
What did I do?
Yeah,
I was threatening to take down the whole scheme of this drug thing they were doing to these kids in school. They were misdiagnosing these kids. They were putting them on Ritalin, and they got federal subsidies. And when they sent me to prison, they sent me up to this. It was like a country club with a fence around it. They had a fucking bowling alley. In the door I was in, they had pizza ovens. People were making pizza and cannolis and shit. The truth is that I can back up everything that I said with forensic empirical evidence. If you took the statement that the cops said I gave to them and go down to the forensic lab in Virginia and run a mass spectrometer test, you will find that my signature was done with either an inkjet printer or a laser printer. It was not my signature. I signed my books with a fountain pen with Japanese black ink. I can't speak for their motives and I can't speak for their methodologies. All I can speak for is what I've done. And I tell you that I never hurt anybody. Nobody. And how do you listen? How do you put this in your head for a second? How do you, over the course of several years, molest somebody who lives 135 miles away, 3.5 hours worth of driving away, that you only see maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and have control over the narrative? How does that happen? How does it happen that this hold on a second, let me talk. Let me talk. How does it happen that this victim sends you birthday cards and calls you on her phone 4 or 5 times every month? How does it happen that this victim sends you birthday cards and calls you on her phone 4 or 5 times every month? How does that happen?
Well, it happens very easily. It's called grooming, being very close to the victim. And if you even claimed at the beginning of the stream you used to go swimming with him. So, I mean, that's very telling in itself.
All I did was teach him how to swim. All I did was, hey, you can float. You don't have to jump in the water and float and go to the bottom. You can float.
Well, I mean,
so
you were around him enough as a kid to teach him how to swim. So, I mean,
wow.
Their parents obviously trusted you.
I was also a scoutmaster for 4.5 years. What does that mean?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That means that's fucking scary.
As far as I'm concerned, it's unfortunate you're telling me you're framed, but your record says you're a danger. And for anybody in their right mind, I mean, I would love to sit here and say, Dave, I believe you. I wish I could, but at the end of the day, if you were my next door neighbor, I mean, I'd be saying to myself, I couldn't have my daughter out. I'd be worried about her, because you haven't just been classed as a pedophile. You're level 3. Your crime, how the attack or offense, how you assaulted the kid. Oh man, it's just sickening. It simply is sickening. And that's what you said that they give you. So when we come across this there, I wish I could turn around and say, yeah, I believe you, but unfortunately, the evidence is there. I can't understand that if you're innocent, why you're not fighting for your innocence. Because I tell you what, you see, if I was accused of that, man, I'd be fighting tooth and nail to clear my name.
What an honest man would do was present all the evidence and say, I got fucked over by the system. This is my life's work now, exposing shit. And that's where you start your fucking truther career. That's what a normal fucking honest guy would do. Why wouldn't they do that?
Well, why wouldn't I? Why you
buried the
let me ask
shit?
you a question.
No. If you were up front with it right at the beginning, there'd be nothing that we would be talking about. Instead, we found people in the Pizzagate community that knew about you, that did absolutely nothing about it, and have still done nothing about it. You know what they've done? They've deflected.
Hey everybody, so today we're going to address some really intense stuff. There are a few people that are in this truth community that are posing as Pedogate researchers, but are actually convicted sex offenders, crimes against children, and they should be reported for being online doing this stuff. It's taking me a little while to put this stuff out because I'm trying to be strategic about putting out information. I've been pushed by a bunch of mega trolls that have been bothering me for the last year. Here are some of the channels. OG Wan Kenobi, he's also on Twitter. He's making tons of videos. You can go check them out and see what they're saying. Wake Now, making videos every day. Fkn Freddy.
So did you serve time for a crime that you're innocent of?
I served 4.5 years for a crime I didn't do. Couldn't have done.
Now, are you claiming that you're innocent?
I am innocent. I had never hurt a soul in my life.
Like, I know you mentioned you said something, you'd see him every couple months, but what was your actual relationship with this child and how close were you to the parents?
Well, the parent up in the Catskills, and they were next door to my in-laws who had a trailer about two or three trailers away from them up on a hill in the Catskills. And my nieces and nephews would play with him and his brother and his sister. And that's how I knew them. They are 135 miles away from my house. I saw maybe 3-4 times a year max because I was always working. But when he hanged out with my nieces and nephews, he was with us up in the trailer, up in the Catskills, up in the trailer park. That's how I know him. I had no other relation. I mean, he's not family or nothing like that. He's just somebody who just hung out with my nieces and nephews for a while. And I just hated to see a bright kid like that being given drugs.
Is it up
follow
your
me?
is it up your understanding that a child who's cognizant enough to call you and tell you, hey, I'm at school, take me off my meds, is not cognizant enough to tell somebody I was at a farmhouse?
Yeah, but the farmhouse doesn't exist. You don't get it. The farmhouse was fictitious. The farmhouse was something that I totally made up.
Yeah,
And
well,
it
it sounds like to me,
appeared-
Dave. Dave, it sounds like to me when you started this journey with the police and you're in their car and then you get to their station and start questioning you. It sounds like to me you started lying to him right off the get-go, which is just bizarre. If you had absolutely nothing, if
That's right.
there's no evidence or anything, it's just bizarre that you would start that.
I told them, give me a lawyer. They wouldn't give me a lawyer, so I lied. I told them,
then you shut the fuck up. You're a Vietnam vet. You don't know you don't say nothing to the cops.
No, you don't understand. Because if I shut the fuck up, they'll make up what they want.
No, you don't say a fucking word till you get a lawyer. Everybody knows that, man.
Well,
Well,
they did.
they didn't know
According to
fucking
you, they made it up.
Isn't this
No.
kid a GPS genius or something? How does he not know where the barn house is?
No, he knew how to work the receiver, but he didn't know the geography. I mean,
Isn't this
no.
kid a GPS genius or something? How does he not know where the barn house is?
No, he knew how to work the receiver, but he didn't know the geography. I mean,
Where were you that day that incident happened? Did you not have an alibi?
no, I was there, but I wasn't
there
at an
with the
event. Yeah, I was several places with the kid. I was all over. It's not a matter of where's my alibi. I wasn't there. I was there, but I didn't do what they said I did. And one of those theirs doesn't exist because I made it up. I made it up, completely, totally made it up. And then when we were in jail, they asked me about where's this farmhouse? And I said, there's no farmhouse. And this was the counselor speaking. I said, there's no farmhouse. There's no fucking farmhouse. I made this shit up. I said,
so didn't they get you on perjury?
Well, you get me on perjury. How do you get me on
You
perjury?
lied.
You're asking a fucking question. You're asking a question. If you accept the answer, that's on you. If I tell you the earth is flat, that's not perjury. That's doing the same shit you're doing to me.
You made a statement.
I'm doing the same shit to you that you're trying to do to me. You're lying to me about this kid making a statement against me, and I'm saying I'm calling bullshit. So now I'm telling you bullshit. And you know what?
And
now
that's called perjury.
Yeah, it's called perjury. What's that, 2 months?
Do you have a perjury charge?
No.
So maybe it's not a lie.
Perjury charge.
Maybe you didn't lie. If there's no perjury charge, and you admitted that you lied.
I never testified. I never testified about any abandoned farmhouse.
Why would you lie though, Dave? Why would you fucking make?
Why not? Why not? Why would I not lie? Why were you asking me a fucking question about some shit that I didn't do? Would I not lie to you?
Because it's on your record.
I find it interesting that you just said that the lie was on the kid's statement. So you mean the stories add up?
Well, you can tell me that, but you know what? I made under the circumstances, I made the right decision because my lawyer would have tore that kid a new asshole, and it would have traumatized him for the rest of his life. He would have been. They would have put it on. Listen, they would have put it on him. They would have put it on that kid. They would have because they were looking at federal prison time.
Oh fuck, dude, you're fucking like wow. You're wow.
No, fuck that shit, dude. What the fuck did you just say?
I'm telling you that these. I'm telling you that these people would do anything to
asshole. You're a piece of shit.
Dave, you're the exact thing that we're all fucking against.
you said your lawyer would have tore that kid a new asshole. So I want
that's a figure of speech.
Oh my
no,
God.
it is not
Oh my God.
appropriate for this conversation at all.
Well, you
Tell me it's appropriate.
Your mouth for the rest of your life is what you fucking said on this show. Anybody got any further shit to ask this guy? Or we heard enough?
I'm good.
No, I don't want to talk to him ever again.
No, me neither, man. But yeah, let's see his fucking. Yeah, no, I fucking don't even want to say it again. I find the whole story to be fucking bullshit, cock and bull. Like it's just crap. There you go. There you have it, folks. That's fucking Dave. Dave is a convicted child rapist. Schedule 3. The worst motherfuckers on the planet is that guy. And he can say all he wants. I'm going to believe the court system on this one. And I just had a fucking pedophile on my show.
I know.
I will link everybody in the description if they... Well, I'm going to link everybody in the description, but I've had enough of this shit. I'm going to go for a ride. Thank you all for being here and having the intestinal fortitude to talk to this fucking piece of shit. And again, I asked the Pizzagate community, how many others do you fucking know about in truthers or whatever that you haven't said a fucking thing about?
I'll take the overseas phone call. This is Nathan. You're on the air.
Hi, Nathan.
Hey.
It's Scooby Doom.
Oh, hey, Scooby-Doo. What's up? Glad you got through.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
You seem to be drawing a bit of attention to pedophiles.
I'm doing what I can.
You're drawing attention to pedophiles on the internet, and that's a good thing. You should be praised for that.
Great.
But I'm kind of curious why you won't talk about the actual pedophiles on YouTube, like David Todeschini.
Well, tell me about David, because I watched him. Well, first of all, and I appreciate your concern, and I appreciate that you recognize that when you attack my channel, you're attacking a channel that's trying to expose the same thing you supposedly are. I want to remind you.
You were trying to expose what I was exposing. You're doing celebrity, Hollywood, political nonsense where people can't really do anything about it.
No, that's not true.
I'm drawing attention to the actual people who are hiding amongst the community, who
That's not
are
true.
starting Patreons, who are launching GoFundMe pages, raising thousands of dollars from people who have no idea that these people are pedophiles. No idea whatsoever.
Okay, so there's one guy.
Your channel has 50,000 subs. If you'd have reached out once and said, you know what, this small channel, Scooby-Doo, or OG Wan Kenobi, or Fkn Freddy, have made a video announcing that this guy is a freaking pedophile, and you know what? They've done their research, the proof's in the pudding, he is on the sex offender list. And if you'd announced that, we wouldn't have had a problem with anything. It's the same with Honeybee. She goes out and talks yesterday as if she's breaking the big fucking news. This has been out for weeks now. We've been asking all you channels to call these people out for weeks.
And I only have so much time to cover stuff, and this guy's kind of small fish.
Nathan, you made fun of it. You mocked us. You mocked us on your channel.
Yeah, well.
Anybody on this listening to this chat, go to Scooby Doom now, and see the guy mocking.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, check it out.
You and Ron Saran friggin' mocked us.
Yeah, we did, because you guys are...
downplayed what David Todeschini is. You said he's a bad actor.
Let's talk about it. David was... you guys say he's convicted of raping an 8-year-old... What's that?
Well, he is. There's no was. He is.
Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, so everybody can hear. I have open phones. Anybody can call in. I'm talking to you. This guy, Dave, whatever his last name, is convicted. Let me tell everybody who's listening right now. There's a guy on YouTube with 1,500 subscribers that nobody's complaining about the content he puts out, but he is a convicted pedophile. I saw a show where he was on it with Fkn Freddy and these other guys that are attacking channels like me and Honeybee and Random Rants of Ryan, who are channels that try to expose pedophilia because of one person who we have to talk about. And if we don't talk about it, then this person here is going to continue baseless attacks against our channels, harassment, bullying. Okay. Well, anyway, harassment, bullying, because you want us to talk about what you want to talk about. So this guy is a convicted pedophile. Hey, everybody, he's a convicted pedophile.
Approached you, you were asked, and you refused to do it.
He's a convicted pedophile. I'm not listening to this guy anymore. This guy, Dave, whatever his name is, he was on a show with Fkn Freddy where they talked to him. And I think from what I gleaned of the interview, they say he's a convicted rapist, but he didn't seem to indicate that that's the case. He was very open about the conviction, and he says he was set up. Now, he is a convicted pedophile, okay? But he says he was set up because he was a whistleblower. Now, I don't know. A whistleblower could get set up to look like a pedophile. Nobody's complaining that he's grooming kids on the internet or anything like that. I haven't heard that complaint. So I'm not sure. He's a convicted pedophile. Do I know if he's a pedophile? I don't know. He says he's not. He says he was set up. That's my answer. So good. We knocked out that question.